snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I am here today to do a book review, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is The Martian by Andy Weir. This is a book that loads of people have been raving about recently and loads of people love, and I decided last month that I wanted to read it as part of my group, and we all read along and lots of people joined in and everyone gave it 5 stars. I was a bit behind on the buddy read, so I didn't really get into it until this month. I'd only read maybe 10 pages or so, but I read all of this book after those 10 pages in a day because I really enjoyed it, and I was just getting sucked into the stories. So it's worth the hype, it's definitely worth the hype, and I did indeed give this a 5 out of 5 stars. So let's get into what this is all about, although I'm sure many of you will already know. The Martian is an SF book. It is based around a man who is called Mark Watney. He goes up into space as part of this kind of investigation of Mars and sort of figuring out more about Mars. And it's a group of 6 astronauts who are all going there, including him, and they get there, they get to the surface of Mars, they start to do all their investigations and start to find things out when this massive storm comes along and everything goes to chaos, and the rest of his crew kind of leave because they think that he's dead. He seems to have vanished in this storm and they can't see him, and his life support goes down and all of this stuff goes crazy. So he gets stranded on Mars, and he keeps a diary whilst he's on Mars of what is going on and how he is surviving and what he is doing with the supplies that have been shipped up there in order for their mission to survive. And it's basically a ongoing story of him. We see it as though it's the present day and he's just writing in his diary at the end of each day. And we also get a point of view from NASA back on Earth when they sort of are following whether he's alive or not, and they are also in communication with the crew who abandoned him and finding out what's going on with the whole situation. So we got those 2 points of view, and I really enjoyed this book, I have to say. It started out a little bit slow. There is a lot of sciencey stuff involved. I mean, he's telling you all of the measurements of these things and he's telling you all of the kind of scientific ideas behind what he's doing, but he does it in a very concise and clear way. So even though there is a lot of sciencey jargon that is thrown in, it's done in a very natural and clear and concise way. So I think you don't have to be a fan of science fiction to enjoy this. You could just be a newbie and you might just want to dive in because you've heard good things and there's a film being made, etc. You can do that with this book because it is definitely an easy read, and it's more about getting to know Mark Watney and kind of liking his satire and his sarcasm, because he's a very sarcastic and funny character, and that really helps to kind of emotionally connect you to this character who is alone on Mars. Because if you don't like the main character of this story, you're probably not going to like the rest of the book because it's all about him and his survival, and you're rooting for him to try and get through this horrible ordeal of being stranded, the only person on the whole planet of Mars. I really liked his character. I thought he was fantastic. He was sarky, he was fun, he was witty, he was intelligent, but he was also just down to earth, and there were moments that he obviously struggled with being alone and being stranded. So I really enjoyed seeing the ups and downs of his whole journey and seeing the way that he decided what he was going to do next and approach this whole issue of, I'm stuck on Mars, what am I going to do? Because let's be honest, that's kind of a big deal. So I really enjoyed Mark Watney as a character, and I think you have to. In order for you to enjoy the book, I think you have to like him as a character, and he is definitely a character that I imagine a lot of people could easily be friends with, and he could easily fit into your friendship group. He's just that sort of person who's quite personable and quite fun. So I think he was a great character, and he really made the book for me. In terms of the story, I mean, it's not predictable because I never knew what's going to happen next. I didn't know if he was going to survive. I didn't know if he was not going to survive. I was always kind of on tenterhooks about what was going to happen next, and there were a lot of things that went wrong. As you would imagine, being the only person in space, space is not the best place to live, and he is trying to live there. He's trying to sustain life on Mars, and things go wrong. Things, and lots of things, go wrong. I also really enjoyed seeing NASA and their interpretation of what was going on, and I just felt like the whole story worked incredibly well. The pacing was really good. It felt like a diary entry each day, as I said, and it was just, it kept me going the whole way through. Like, every day finished, there was still a struggle of, is he going to survive? And I was still wanting to know what's going to happen next? Is he going to survive day 1? Is he going to survive day 2? Is he going to survive day 3? Because even when he was making progress, even when things were looking good, still other things kept going wrong. So there was just a lot of craziness and a lot of epicness, and it was just incredible as a story. There were a few moments where I teared up a little bit, and it definitely got to me at some moments, so I would highly, highly recommend this. It's the only science fiction besides Ready Player One that I've ever given 5 stars to, so that's definitely a credit to it, and I would highly recommend this. If you guys haven't heard of it, then definitely check it out, see if it's the sort of thing that you would like, or if you have heard of it and you've been sort of on the edge, then maybe I've managed to push you past that edge and go out and get it. It's just a lot of fun, and it's really, really quick to get through. I did not have trouble getting through it at all. It was fun, it was fast, it was furious, it was full of life and craziness and just epic moments where I was rooting for the main character, and it was just fabulous. So 5 out of 5 stars from me. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you guys have read it. Definitely tell me, did you like it? Did you not like it? Why? And thank you guys all for watching. I will see you all very, very soon in another video. Bye! Me and you.